My name is Jamie Tall, and I am here with another amazing episode for you today with the founder of WillUHelp, Jeff Edrington, out of Cleveland, Georgia. Jeff, thanks so much for coming on for episode 2 of our podcast, talking about your amazing organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for putting this together, and excited to talk tonight.
So I wanted to know, like, when you go into the streets, because let's tell everyone real quick about a little bit about what you do as far as your mission statement is.
Yeah, so we replaced the cardboard signs that the homeless see. I'll show you these when you walk by a homeless person with bags, with a two-sided message bag full of food and street supplies. On one side it says "Hire me for." We give them a Sharpie. They can fill in whatever trade they want to do, and then on the other side, maybe they're not able to work, and it just says "Will you help?" So when you compare the two side by side, you see there's a huge difference. And this one also gives them a better job opportunity if that's what they're looking for too. It's more marketing for them, and so that's what we do basically. And we go out.
Awesome.
We're a street mission. We don't necessarily go to homeless shelters. We're out on the streets where people are holding these signs, right?
Right. And so what do you see when you go into the streets?
Oh wow. I see a lot of pain. I see struggle. I see addiction. I see trauma victims. I see people that have been incarcerated, some of them the majority of their life. I see people that have lost their dignity to the streets. I see so much of a struggle. And what I hear is that people can't even retain their own property. So if you live on the streets, all you have is what you can carry, because if you leave it somewhere, it's going to get gone. It's going to get stolen. Now, on the reverse side of that, what I see that's remarkable to me, and it's been very eye-opening to me, is the folks that are out on the streets have some of the strongest faith that I've ever been witness to. And I got to thinking, why is that? These people's faith in Christ, they're at the low point of their life, and it's all they have. It's all they have. That, whatever they can carry. So what I see is hope. I see people that understand that the meek will inherit the earth. I see amazing, amazing faith, and it just moves me to the point of almost tears to listen to the testimonies that people have out there.
That is some pretty amazing stuff to see when you go out into the street. What are the biggest needs that you see?
Um, the first, housings, jobs, or housing and jobs, um, sustenance, some food. Those are the immediate things that we see. Um, uh, for as far as what they need. And when we talk about jobs, we've made the bags to try to help give them a voice, a platform for job opportunity if they so choose. And when we talk about housing, I want to touch on that in a later video because we have some ideas about transitional housing, mainly working in church congregations where people would, we talk about having small groups in church, and I have the thought of street mission small groups to where a certain amount of members focus on one homeless person, and they go out and they say, you know, hey, I'm willing to have him at my house for one night. You know, oh, I'm willing to have him 3 nights, and we get the person months off the streets and transitioned into where they can be self-sustaining, get a job, and be able to afford to pay rent. But that's for another video. The biggest need, other than immediate food, that I see is for a human connection. These folks have lost their dignity, and they're some of the most honest folks you will meet. They will tell you straight up, I'm out here because I'm an addict. I'm out here because trauma in my life. I was raped, I was abused, I was incarcerated. And you know, we go out about our lives and we don't, you know, we keep our problems inside, and you know, they're willing to share their stories so openly and so raw and honest. But what I see the biggest need for is hugs, a human connection, someone to just walk up to him and say, you matter. I love you. Because you think about it, Jamie, a lot of a lot of homeless haven't had showers in days.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they don't feel human. They're forced out in public. I mean, just put yourself in their shoes, being out on the streets and not showering for weeks at a time. Do you want to see people? You know? So what I found and what I love to do is go out and give hugs. And I feel like that is a magic connection, because you think about it, touch is so important to people, yet they don't get it. They're deprived of it because of the way they look and the way they smell, and because they don't look like you and me, right?
Mm-hmm.
People are standoffish, and so and the thing about a hug is it goes both ways. It is it is life changing for both people if you get the courage enough to want to do that. So hugs is
Absolutely.
the biggest need that I see, to be made to feel human.
Mm-hmm. And they're free.
You know, you say exactly. It's you think of it like prayer, right? You think of prayer. It's free. Anybody
Mm-hmm.
can do it. You can do it whenever you want. It's the same way with this, right? You can choose to go out and walk by somebody, you know, fist bump them, but just embrace them, and and it makes a difference. It makes a difference, and it doesn't cost you anything. You don't even have to have a bag with anything in it to be human to someone
Mm-hmm.
else.
Absolutely. And some people may be, standoffish of this because they have this idea that people on the street are dangerous. Is this what you've seen in your encounters?
So when we talk about dangerous, I want you to think of it in I want you to think of things in these terms. Imagine somebody walks up to your house and knocks on your door that you're not expecting. You're on guard, right? You come to your door like, who's this? I'm gonna peek out the door. You don't know who it is, and then maybe you even ask, "Hey, who are you?" "Oh, I'm with Amazon," or whatever it is, right? And you finally get some point of, you know, "Oh, okay, I believe this person, you know, this is why they're here," and whatnot. Well, it's the same thing with people on the streets. Their home is the streets. So if when you do walk up on them to engage them, I have just highly encouraged to be very gentle, right? And approach them, because here's why. They have people stealing their stuff. That, you know,
Mhm.
they're stealing their stuff to survive. And so they're going to be guarded initially. So I don't think dangerous is the word. I think that they are guarded the same way you and I are guarded when someone comes to our house, our home, and says, "Hey, I wanna, I need to come inside or I need to deliver this," right? So I think it's just important you go and you announce yourself, "Hey, I'm here to help you.
Mhm.
I wanna hear your story. I'd like to hug you." And when you're inviting like that, all guards, all walls come down, right? And so, I think that's the way when we talk about are they dangerous? No, they're just guarded. They want to make sure that you're not going to hurt them and you're not going to steal from them because all they have is what they can carry.
Right. And so you've really found all this out by, spending time in the camps, in the streets. And I'm sure you've heard so many testimonies. What is your favorite testimony that you've heard from someone?
I don't know that I have a favorite. I mean, I have multiple, favorites, I guess. But the testimony that resonates with me is that you've got folks that are at the low part of their life, and they're still praising Christ, and they're still brutally honest. I mean, I've talked to folks that say, "I'm high right now talking to you." I mean, how much more honest can you ask somebody to be? And guess what? They have nothing to lose, nothing to lose. And they want to be embraced. They want to be loved. They want to be valued. And so their testimonies of honesty about why they're there, what they're doing right now, those are the things that stand out to me most. And the strength that they show when they talk about Christ and what he's done for them and what he's doing for them. Man, they haven't forgot him and they know that he hasn't forgot them. And those are the kind of people I want to be around, quite honestly. The people that
Mhm.
are honest, they're not hiding their secrets like we all do when we go out in the world. Well, I don't want somebody knowing this about me, or I don't want somebody knowing that about me. Their whole life's in front of you. Their whole life, and it's not by choice. So they're forced, in a sense, to just display their life to everyone, and that's testimony in itself to me.
Absolutely. Well, I just can imagine, hearing stories and like just of heartbreak, but also, amazing faith. It kind of puts like a silver lining in the work that you do. So that is really amazing. Now
You
there is
know,
a sorry, go ahead.
yeah. So I think one thing that stands out is when we were walking through a tent camp and had probably 70 camps and went up and asked them, it was 90 degrees out. What's the one thing that would make a difference for you right now? It wasn't food. It wasn't water. You know what it was? It was a roll off trash container because there was so much trash in their camp area. And they needed not one, but they needed 30 or 40 because they don't have trash bags ready available. They're homeless. They can't afford to buy trash bags.
Mhm.
And I thought, here they could say, I want water because it's 90 degrees. No, they want it to be clean. They want to be a part of society. And so that testimony is it's so strong when you hear things like that. It's just mesmerizing. It's never what you think it's going to be when you go out
Mhm.
and talk with them. It's
Mhm.
never what you think it's going to be. Or if it is, if it's despair, I'm always walking away thinking, wow, these people understand life in a way I wish I could. And it's just amazing to hear their testimonies because it's always I walk away with a good coming out of it and never bad, which just I mean, you just have to look at someone and say,
Mhm.
how can they be this positive?
Mhm. Absolutely. And, just you going out there and talking to them, like you were talking about, with your bags, message bags, kind of being like a point of connection, so you're able to go out there and you're able to connect with people that you never would have been able to connect with before, who come from all walks of life and have such just amazing testimonies all around. Now, you do have your website is a place where people can donate to.
Yeah, so we've got a shopping list, an Amazon shopping list of items
Mhm.
that we've actually purchased and fill the bags with. Um, you can go to www.willuhelp.life, will the letter U, and then help.life, and see that. Also, there's volunteer sheets if you want to volunteer. We want to be on all 7 continents with our bags at some point in time. And so we're also looking for partners that will want to distribute our bags in other states and in other countries as well.
That is amazing. Yes, and it's all starting in Cleveland, Georgia.
Yes. God bless Cleveland, Georgia. It's God's country up here for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you for your testimony and for sharing. And we will be back next week with another episode of the Will You Help podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe and show your support and share this out.